Never mind, that one was for yesterday, and I possibly could have not recorded it yesterday, so no hard feelings. Um, Kawasaki will go without me. Was this racist? What I just did? No, it's just Kawasaki. It's how it goes. I didn't mean no bad, for sure. I'm not that kind of person. I hope. Okay. 15 years later, I'll be grateful to myself to clean up this mess. Um, yeah, I don't know what the stocks are doing in my portfolio. Do they pay dividends? Do they do, 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 do they pay dividends? They do. That's what they do. In my portfolio, the portfolio better be like composed of good old time proven stocks. That's interesting. Oof, that's not ADP, TDM. I see you. A little rascal. How did you get in there in my perfectly annual chart? You see, Toyota didn't go. Oof. I'm glad I got out at 2R after recharting. After reasoning in annual chart. Should I call it annual or yearly or 12 months? I don't know how to I don't know how to work out my jargon. I think I'll stick to annual chart. Does make sense? Like annual is an interval. Like monthly chart. We say monthly chart, right? So I can say annual. I think it's good. Mm, yeah, that would be the level when it forms. But don't worry about it for now. Oh, Tatneft. How would be interesting to see how Russian market reacts to today's move on American. The fight there for autonomy, autonomous economy, they call it. But the idea is good, but I just think they use all the wrong methods. I don't want to like sound senseless or brutal, but just they go slaughter neighboring country in the sake of becoming economically independent from American economy, financial system. Like, this is bullshit. That's not how you become autonomous. Like, do I say it right? Autonomous? if you want to be autonomous, you develop your own financial markets, you develop your own consumer market, and work on your GDP. And that's how you become autonomous and independent and attractive as a country, as economy, as society, as anything. They prefer to do it by force. Don't think it's a good idea. Well, I'm sure it's a terrible idea. It's a horrible idea. It's inhuman. But also, I don't think it's gonna work in the long term. Um, and also, Russian problem is corruption. That's that's just obvious. So it's not about. Hold on, give me a sec. I think my neighbor starts the fireplace. Yeah, the horrible thing about where I live is that um, fireplace, like old school wood fireplaces, are still loud here. So our neighbors have one, and I'm on the second floor, so they're like chimneys right into my window, which I like to keep open for the fresh air. So when they started, I get all the particle matter. I didn't know how like bad it is for your health until one of our villagers at Hawaii. He was like, we had like mm, wood stove hot tub, and he would freak out every time and make us a trouble about like fire going, like the smoke going into his window. And I was like, come on, it only smokes when it starts, and then it's just fine. And he was so concerned, and he's computer scientist. And like another day, I was like, Mike, what are you so like pissed about? And he told me about this particle matter and how detrimental it's for your lungs and your health. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I grew up around like real fire. Like I don't know, like my grandparents' summer house would have a fireplace. I mean, another summer house would have like a wood stove. Uh, it's all right. And then he was like, read about it. And I did. And turns out particle matter is a horrible, horrible thing for your lungs. I was like, okay, it turns out you were right. He was like, I told you. That was such a dumb moment. I was like, duh. But yeah, that's how we learn. And ever since, I'm like more uh, cautious about being exposed to like fire smoke and stuff like that. I used to love it big time in my childhood, and except for like your clothes smells terribly. But yeah, other than that, I loved it. And I was like, thank you, not for me, not anymore. Well, learn and grow, right? Okay. Let's see how much I can recharge. And this even without, I didn't even check the monthly levels, right? Okay, let's do, yeah. Let's also be checking the monthly levels. So I don't miss on our monthly levels. Lockheed Martin. What a surprise. Maybe again, don't want to get political, but they can not to. Maybe smart money are smart, and they know that the war is gonna be over soon, as Mr. Trump promised us. I'm curious. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I want to see like him ending the war because this war is long due to stop, and I've been waiting for it. And I know it doesn't sound like how most of you feel about it. I don't care how it stops. It's secondary. Primary for me is for people to stop dying. So whoever stops this war is my hero. And second is, yeah, who wins, who loses. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be. I think Trump will stop it in a way that will be a lose situation, at least for Ukraine, if not for the entire free world. You know what I mean? So, and yet, any peace, is it called truth? Oh no, this is horrible. Truth, the peace. I think it's called truth. 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 Yeah, truth. Yeah, so any kind of truth is better than people continue to die. And I don't believe it's gonna be like long lasting, but maybe 5-10 years of truth. Any years of truth, any years of people not dying is good enough for me. And then we'll have to see how we can contain these horrible things and stop them from happening again. But first and foremost, we need truth. That's my stand on it. I don't even have it. And he promised us the truth. Did he say like in 3 days? I think he said that he's gonna stop the war in 3 days, so I'll be counting once he comes into power. And I do believe he's capable of doing it. I really do. As like super talented entrepreneur, negotiator. That's a trade I had to kill after I charged my I charged my like 12 months annual, and boom, all of a sudden there is no context on monthly at all. Little things can make big changes. It's interesting. Was it? Yeah, it was like too close to monthly level, and yet turns out like good enough for. Wouldn't give us a test though. Unvolumed, like nothing. Yeah, just don't know what to do with. Also here volume, nothing, just maybe this test level, no. Yeah. So now you guys know my expectations. And it didn't make me like him. I don't, but I was like, yeah, I want the truth. And he's promising it. And I think the Dems would have continued the war. I'm sure about it. Well, you can't be sure, but I'm very positive they would have continued the war. I don't like it. I need peace, please. Gosh, it even gets through this window. Can't hide from this particle matters. My neighbors are poisoning me. They're killing my lungs. Actually, it's serious. I don't know why I'm so humorous about it. Gotta move to somewhere where I'm not gonna be exposed. That was a good exhaustion. Counter trend though. You'd need a. Yeah, you see this guy? That's a little something. It's a little something, and daily was pretty good. Look at this guy. Not bad for reversal. But nothing here. And anywho, it's not the point right now. Focus. Moscow Exchange. The one that is sanctioned. Remember, you see this Rus? It used to be like MOEX. And that's exactly why sanctions do not work. So the day MOEX Moscow Exchange was sanctioned as the Putin's like wallet, the next morning TradingView came out with the, it was first like Otis ticker, I think, and then they fixed it to Rus. So they just did a, what do you call it in English? Like a whale, like not the whale, not the WHALE, but the VALE, whale, some kind of cover up. So like it's not MOEX, it's some intermediary broker who supplies TradingView with quotes, which is like total bullshit. it's MOEX, it's Moscow Exchange. So that's why sanctions don't work, because there is no solidarity and business continues to do the business. It's just the nature of the business. They just want to do the business. And that sucks. And that's why sanctions don't work. The nature of capitalism. Everyone wants to make a buck. Oof, oof. And this sucks. No, I'm not against people like wanting to make a buck. That's all I want to do. But also, that's why a 40 trillion free world alliance cannot contain 2 trillion economy. Okay, like 5 trillion economy per purchasing parity. That effectively has no allies. Has some like suppliers, but just like all alone. Belarus is not counted. They're incapable of anything. But yeah, the biggest economy in the world, accompanied by the same amount of GDP worth other dozen biggest economies in the world, cannot contain a single standing number 5 economy in the world, which would have not been number 5 if they wouldn't buy so much oil and gas for the free world. So that sucks. Oh, look, that's something new. That's like geopolitics 101 from Misha, delivered to you by Misha. Okay, so what happened here? This was a transition extremum. So all this does not apply to here. Yeah, it ended here. Yeah. So and then down, 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 and then we have to, yeah, that is how it happened. Gazprom, oh, speaking of the devil, Russian gas monopolist, one single biggest Mr. Putin's money-making machine. So that was February. Let's see. Like in February, that's where the war began. So maybe this tale. Where is it? Yeah. Point being, hey, wait. Take me to the, yeah. My point being, so maybe we shouldn't reason in this tale. And then that becomes like more, makes more sense because that's like literally the day the war began. Okay, since we're talking about anyways, let's see the effect of the war. That's how stock markets like stability. Yeah. 24th, that's the day the war began. Like this entire tale. It halved 210 to 120. Boo-boosh. That's the fear and panic. That what happens to the stock market when country goes at war. And then it recovered. Then they stopped the exchange. Oh, there was the whole shebang. The both Moscow and St. Petersburg stock exchanges stopped working, and oof, that was, I mean, that was not fun because it was war, but like watching at the stock market and regulators like freak out, that was fun. That's fun. I think I'm perma bear. I like markets falling way better than growing. You know what I mean? Like panic is way more. I don't know. Maybe it's an evil inside of me, but panic is something like way more real. Fear is more like solid than greed. You know, markets are just driven by like greed and fear. That's the only two like real drivers of the market behavior. And like greed is still, well, it can at the very like last there's like this golden rush like with Bitcoin at the top and stuff like that. But panic is like, it's like diarrhea. It's immediate. It's just oof, uncontained, unmoderated. It's again, don't want to speculate on other people misfortunes, but there's something very attractive for me about panic. Meantime, there's a bigger volume and correction than like, so what's not right about this whole situation is that yeah, boom, this break under ice, and we're at test level right now, and it's like virtually ended with this volume. Yeah, it's kind of looks like it wants to protect it. That would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts if it holds it. Let's look at daily. Daily was not bad with this up thrust, and then test, and Yeah, you see, like, no, volume is there. Volume is no. Oh wow, look at this. This is you guys. This is solid. Gazprom looks down, and now they lost the European market, but they gained the Chinese. So, I don't know. Stop it. Okay, finally. So, that was absolutely the biggest volume of the entire trend, and then this upthrust comes in. It's interesting. Where? Where? Mm, yeah, very solid upthrust. Huh. It wasn't bad for a. Just take it from here. It was wild, but that would have worked with no test, even with the test. But that broke the model. Broke the model. What about hourly? Did we have anything on hourly here to work with? Mm, transitioning strum then goes down, goes up again. So counter trend would need to, yeah, no, it didn't give us an entry. But yeah, as funny as it is, it was a good for short. Volume distribution on monthly is weird though. It's weird. You don't want to see like a bigger volume on correction. So today though, it gave a volume in 0.5 June. And that was gap is retest. That didn't fully close yet. Look at this volume. It looks good for short. It actually looks good for short. Yeah, interesting. I'll put it on an hourly watch. This was good. Volume on monthly though, guys. Should really just discontinue the test level after this approach. But it's all up there also. Yeah, it's all up here. Gazprom is good. I know. I know I used the dirty word. I'm so overboard. I'm so. Oh no, I used the dirty world. Gosh, what was the lyrics? Yay! Smells like Teen Spirit. I was just talking to my ex just yesterday about how like California doesn't really like LA doesn't really like rave about Kurt Cobain. He was such an idol. I mean, he was. I don't know. I don't know how to even describe him. Just because he was active in Seattle, like LA is mean. LA only cares about their own. You know what I mean? It's just like. I mean, he was the king. Like grunge, like please, he's the king of grunge. Uh, for centuries to come. It was so good. Uh, just because he didn't come like to, or did he? No, I think he stayed in Seattle. LA's like doesn't care about Kurt Cobain. Like so many friends of mine who are into music, like in rock music and anything like grunge related or like near grunge, they would know him, but they're like, whatever. It's like, what do you mean, whatever? He's like, he's the best. Not only in grunge, but like in, I don't know, in rock in general. Okay, he's not the best in rock, but he's like one of the best in like rock. So, and then LA is like, LA is mean. You have to be in LA in order for LA to take care of you. Yeah, that was actually, here was a transitioning round right here, and then it changed the direction and changed direction again, so it doesn't help us anyhow. What's the go? Yeah. I'm self. Oh, report. Oh no, I use the dirty word. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Gosh, I gotta learn the lyrics. Here we are now. Entertain us. I'm so stupid. Oh, that's not PC. And contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. Yeah. Gosh, he was so good. Hello, hello. That was a volume to bar spring, and context direction coincides with the direction of the trend. So I'm fully authorized to go for perforated levels. This is not the biggest. Yeah. Told you guys. Look how these rules are universal. They just are. And look, my bet is like 0.5. 0.5 anyone? Like exact 0.5. Wow. So now, look at this volume. What happened there? And it's like, yeah, it's not at the top, so transition extremum. You see that now explains as a thing at 2, up, down. So that was the level that was broke, and now yeah. However, like this 0.5 is also valid concern, because this counter trend correction is only good up to 0.5. and look at this volume level, how it like springed this, like I don't chart like this, but you know what I mean. So yeah, this correction might be over. Over. Now on to Moby. I still don't know what he sings there, but it sounds like Russian, short of Vladimir actually. Vova. Moby was so good. He's still out there. I wanted to see him like in LA Philharmonic playing with orchestra. Still yet to happen. Look at this volume. You guys, look at this volume. Boom, boom. It's legit an exhaustion volume right here. Right here. Except for this 20th of September, so never mind. And now, yeah, and now there is another volume, but it broke so violently up, and it's counter-trend. It's a transition extremum for monthly of annual. It can, yeah, you can expect, like one can like legit expect some kind of movement here, which almost happened here, but not really. No, not you. I'm self-assured. Is it self-assured? Like what is he saying? Overboard. And now I use the dirty world. Good volume, but and one bar reversal unvolumed and moves up. We are past transition extreme now, so you know. So you know. And we broke it so high up there. I'll still put it on the watch list for tomorrow. Draw my head, I wanna hide my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I think it's kind of funny, I think it's kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I ever had. I find it hard to tell you. We don't care about 0.5, it's in transition. Well, you know what? Actually, it is not. This is a transition extremum. The high was 865. Yeah, so. Or did I mean, yeah. Now I'm debating myself if I should, instead of the old spread, I should just add one bar, so it's like down, up, and down again. You know what I mean? And put the transition extremum here instead. So instead of like counting the bar that opened with the gap, counting its opening from the close of the previous bar, just adding a bar like to complete this gap, so like as if there was like a bullish bar and then it's bearish, and then yeah, and then it's bring this. That's also a possibility. I don't know. But yeah, I'd be careful about this guy. It's just so high. It just looks like it wants to break. It's a bit shame. I need some intel on how to really work with gaps in terms of charting. It really like compromises my charting all the time. Like an old gap is where you count in U bar's body, not from the opening with the gap, but from the close of the previous bar before the gap. It should really make sense. However, let's figure out what happened here. It was going up. Oops. Um, However, I don't think it's a good idea because, like, when they when they defined like an old gap, that's why it's called old gap, because it comes from like Wyckoff's times. But back in the Richard Wyckoff's times, there was no dark pools, so the gap was like entirely due to the change of the mindset of the market participants. So they would just like wake up overnight and they would just remove their asks and bids from the depths of the market, and then that would cause the gap the next morning. Wait, what is this stock? It's like penny stock Mitsubishi. It's like a penny stock now. However, nowadays it's different, because there is like dark pools. So when the market closes, there's dark pools that operate and move the market. They like move the price, and then they report overnight, and then the market opens with this new data. Is it a good way to see, or was it going down really? There's like two ways to look at it. And if it was going down really, then dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's real hard to tell. It's really hard to take it. It's really hard to. It's really hard to tell you. It's really hard to take. Because if it. It's not going up, it's going down. Tune, tune. Right? I don't know. It's not gonna change anything, anyways. So what's the point? Oh, and months. Yeah. It's at the monthly level. It's good for for short. It just needs levels. So yeah, consider, so deep pool is the volume, and it's been added to the previous day. That's why like daily volume does not match the sum of the hourly volumes of this day. So it even more so would make sense to move the close of the previous bar to the opening after the gap, because that's where volume that's been counted into this bar has driven the price. You know what I mean? So it looks like the whole old spread shebang is not really working well in the new market environment. And I can't kind of wrap my head around it. So you can either move the close of the previous bar to the opening of the new bar after the gap, which makes sense in terms of this volume being added to this previous day bar retrospectively. Another option would be just like to imagine another bar in between the old bar, like the previous day and the new day, just to connect the closing of the previous day and opening of the next day. That's the idea I'm flirting with right now, but I still use the old bar term, which is moving and opening of the next day to the close of the previous, which totally doesn't make sense because this volume doesn't count in. And anyhow, it drives me crazy. I need like one strategy that I'll be implementing, one technique, one decision that I'll be using consistently. And I don't know which one is the right choice, but the wrongest choice is like just not to make a choice and just be situational about it. Okay, Yandex is Russian market, so and Rosneft too. I'll show you once we get to next American stock. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Just I can't figure it out just quite yet, but I will. I promise you. I think like a drawing bar in between them, so it's either moving the close of the previous day to and that's exactly why they have these like bars. You know, there's like bars that don't have opening. What is range, by the way? Oh, there's point and figures. Interesting. Huh. That's like how they counted the. Wait, give me American stock. That's how they counted pointed figures. That's somehow like I need to learn. That's how in Wyckoff time they pointed the potentiality for like how much room does it have to go. What is 100 R? That's crazy. Range. No, it still shows the gap. Is there a candle that would not show me the gap? Wow. Okay, that doesn't show the gap, right? Yeah, this thing doesn't closes the gaps. Interesting. But what I was gonna show you is those bars. I think it's like in these bars, but just in settings. Yeah. You see there's like bars where it doesn't show the opening. Just specifically I think for this gap thing. Anyhow, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the gaps. Because as of now, I'm inconsistent. I still use like old gap, but sometimes it doesn't make sense. And once again, like, if you guys know better, let me know. But I was saying that it changes a lot, so per se, should I count it like in the old gap? I should just see it as a big bullish bar with all this volume. However, this gap is due to this volume, which is 75 mils. But if you go 75 mils on 31st of October, but if you go to 31st of October and calculate, you see it's 33 million. 33 million. And on daily, it's 75. So 42 million have changed hands here, which has driven price up. So I either need to see this bar as the huge bullish bar, because this additional 42 millions that's been added on October 31st has driven the market up with this gap. So it has nothing to do with this bar. It has to do with this bar. So either I need to change it to bullish, or I can draw a bar in between them. I think I just need to change this bar to bullish. So that was like bearish up to here, and then it went like this. But again, I'll need to reconsider my charting once again. So if I switch over to that principle, that system where I add a gap when I move the closing of the previous bar to where the next day opened, I'll change my current drawing like a lot. And I'm kind of tired of constantly rearranging my charting technique. And unfortunately, my trading coach does not have a distinct answer to that because he does not work on American markets or any markets with significant gaps. Like Russian markets, they also have gaps, but they are insignificant and not so, like, mainly due to like dividend gaps. That's all they have there because there's no dark pools. There is outside of market volumes, like, and shares change hands, but nothing like an American market. American markets are crazy. They're like Mustangs. That's so hard to tame. So yeah, it's this now. American markets are crazy, like jumping all around, and don't know what to do with gaps, but they way more rewarding, promising, and they allow me to work with the stop limits, unlike crypto. And I basically obviously cannot consider moving my capital to Russia. I'd better deal with gaps on the American market than get my capital stuck in Russia. That would be sick. That would be like no bueno. It was close to 0.5. Was it for 0.5? Maybe not. Maybe not yet. We can put it on like monthly watch. So yeah, that's my full confession about American market. It drives me crazy with these gaps. The problem with crypto is I can't use stop limits on crypto. First of all, it's also like unregulated area. I don't know. Like people are crazy. I know people who like have. I mean, there are like whales out there. There are people who have like what, like hundreds of millions in crypto, and probably they don't have them at stock exchange. They have them like at the hard wallets. Because like if you're trading actively, you have to have your money at the like Binance or whatever exchange, Coinbase. And like what if like Coinbase United States is okay, but the liquidity is shit. But if you have like substantial funds or like Binance International, you wake up one morning and it's gone like FTX. So what do you do? Like cry or dance naked because like I mean you're free now, you're a free man. You don't have to worry about anything. It's interesting what it did here. It broke eventually, but before it broke it went down, and so like one can say it formed this little balance here once it's short. So it wasn't like one bar rule necessarily. So I'm prone to think that that's the level. And I think it's near 0.5 too. So yeah, with all the other things, even I would rather trade crypto, because crypto has no gaps, has no dark pools, no overnights, no nothing. It also has like different exchanges, so like the volume traded is split in between different exchanges, and also there's like outside of um, exchange trades, but the outside of exchange trades volumes are not added to the exchange volume, so they don't form gaps. And it's 24/7. It doesn't gap at all. This is so beautiful. It's just amazing. However, once again, you can't play it. You can't trade it long with stop limit because like crypto can just go to zero. It can like stock can collapse as well. Like company can disappear. Pfizer can cease to exist, but like likelihood of Pfizer failing, terminally failing, compared to they're basically just penny stocks, like except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe BNB too, but also like BNB can go down with Binance. So mm, the likelihood of any crypto, especially altcoins, like dying, ceasing to exist, is way more higher than that of any American stock. So 939 close 936. So it did close below. Yeah, which makes it very like I need to have a really good statistic to trade on crypto market. And again, reliability of the exchange. That's a huge factor because it can just disappear one morning. You remember Samuel Bankman-Fried and all this like um, what's that, like something altruism, this like sex positive community they cultivated in Bahamas and all this like cool stuff. I used to live in sex positive community Hawaii. It's like I'm all in for that. Just not cool when these people burn your money while having fun out there. Damn hippie. It's effective altruism, I think it was called. Whatever it was called, I mean, and he was donating large sums of money to this like effective altruism community, like hundreds of millions. But now we know whose money that was. um, yeah, okay, this gap. Like, should I see this bar as bullish? I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Like, I swear to God, I can't wrap my head around it. I was thinking about going studying at like American Wyckoff, like they have like in San Francisco, but it's just they're so different. Like the system I use is so modified. It's like it's based on the like Wyckoff findings and like wave volume spread analysis, all of that, but it's so different in essence now. So far away from original Wyckoff, and Wyckoff was using the point and figures right here to calculate how far, like to calculate take profit. Like my system uses like 1 to 2 or like graphic method, like some ranges of the superior time frame or the same time frame. Wyckoff was using point and figures to calculate how much potential, um, how much room price have to go in the desired direction. So technically this is the biggest volume, but this qualifies for sign of strength. First fall jump over creek, so it makes sense. It's in 0.5 and the volume is bigger than 2 bars before and 1 bar after, and spread widens and there is no tail. So it's a good candidate for transitioning strong was here, and now we are like far above it. So Um, yeah, just crazy. Novartis. Yeah, I think you should see it as an independent approach. It just, I mean, it's stupid to just play the coincidence of levels, and stupid like it's PC if I don't use it against like towards some certain individual, right? If I just like use it like it's stupid idea to do something, right? I hope it's PC. Uh, no one cares for the next 4 years. We got Trump. Sorry for my humor, but you can kill, you can call whoever, whatever. Look at our president. He does way worse. So yeah, the gap thing just kills me. Is it like a? Because if I'm to draw additional bar, bullish bar here, then it makes an upthrust. Then this is a level. If I use this as the bullish bar, then there is no level. If I use this, if I use old spread, then this is a bullish bar, this is a bearish bar, and extremum is here, but here it comes. Yeah, I don't know. Let's put this guy on the daily watch, by the way. I think my head is boiling right now. I have to go. Okay, rocket up. Rocket up. What's this one? Okay, is it logarithmic? Wow. What if it's not logarithmic? Wait, what? That was not logarithmic, that's why. Wait, how far back are we not logarithmic? Okay, that's why I was like, this is. You see, that's why you use logarithmic all the time. This just doesn't make any sense. It's a level regardless, and it's. Yeah. Okay, what's okay? Is it the crypto exchange, by the way? No, natural gas. Sorry. 60 billion Tulsa, Oklahoma. So many things. So many places I've never been to. Boom, boom, boom. This is transition extreme. Maybe not yet. We don't know. But potentially. What if it breaks again? Goes up. But for now, we'll treat it as a transition extremum. So there's this thing. That was a transition. And then it just gaps up. Like everything did. Not everything, but a lot of things did today. Like Republican stocks did. We'll call stocks Republican and Democratic for today's gap sake. So look, once again, like what do I do with it? So it's this big. And it broke, it's up, it's gone. It's gone and done. You would rather see the biggest volume on the jump over creek, not at the reaction bar. And also, this looks a lot like an exhaustion. Maybe also again, like I told today, that stock market likes Trump. That can be a bull trap too. It doesn't look like a bull trap to me, but it can be. It really can be. And volume distribution is kind of bearish. It's kind of bearish. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Got something for tomorrow. Look at this. Get something for tomorrow. Hide my head, I wanna draw my soul. Now to. Did I take a look at all the dailies? I think I did. Amazon. And these guys. Okay, this is broke. I didn't complete my daily overview, I think. Or did I? Let's do it real quick. Dudoosh. 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 Whew. Those are small caps, right? Yeah. It kind of indicates that we're due a rally. Because, like, small caps are faster to react, I think. Dow Jones. I don't know what Dow Jones is. It like bigger caps? Like blue chips? And Spider everything and QSR tech? Is that factual? Sagra, Plug, Togica, Enamel Cup, Hazy, AFK Systems, Samalot, Spear, Rocco, Gazprom, Amazon, Ketchup. Ketchup good for short. Not in the right place on monthly though. Only from hourly. Oh, so it's like it's for an hourly watch then. Yeah. Now MS90. Bodoosh. Like all this massacre, I don't know how to judge it. If this is up and this is neutral, then this was the level, then it was down. It's just, I honestly, this up and this up, so then this was the level, and then it went down. So this was up, so this was the level, and that was neutral, and then it went down. So this was the level. This was up again, and this was up. It's just go figure. I refuse to try to understand it. Airflot again. It's only good for. I don't think it's good for short actually. Does look like an exhaustion. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh no. It's not up yet. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go. See you tomorrow.